In my experience, most marketers who are driving paid traffic are wasting between 15 and 50% of that traffic driving it to bad landing pages. Bad doesn't just mean ugly, by the way. There are plenty of beautiful loser landing pages out there as well. A bad landing page is just one that doesn't convert as much traffic as it should, or it converts the wrong type of traffic. Now, with most marketing channels becoming more competitive than ever, us marketers need to be squeezing the last drop out of every paid campaign that we run. And the landing page performance can be the difference between having a really scalable, profitable campaign and having a campaign that is underperforming that you have to cut, leaving your competitors to share the spoils. Ugh. So in this video, I'm going to share some golden rules that we at Exposure Ninja have developed over the last 10 years of building landing pages for businesses all around the world. I'm going to show you some examples and also some counter examples so that by the end of this, you'll be able to build high-performing landing pages to drive more leads and sales to your business. Let's go. Element number 1, their use of credibility. Remember that traffic to your landing pages will likely be cold, i.e. it won't have a prior relationship with your business or your products or services, so you've got a few seconds to demonstrate why people should trust you. Notice on this landing page how Boxed uses a few subtle but incredibly effective credibility triggers. The first credibility trigger is this little "watch our TV" ad in the corner. It's a nice little flex just to let you know that they're big enough and established enough to run TV ads. The second credibility trigger is this stuff down here. Now, you'll know that we at Exposure Ninja are a big fan of use of third-party review sites to build credibility, and they do a great job here in a number of ways. They've got 4.9 out of 5, which is both very reassuring and also very credible because it's not quite a perfect 5 out of 5 that would arouse some suspicion. They've also got 14,500 reviews that have been left, showing that you would not be the first person to trust them. And we'll come back to social proof a little bit later on. Use of the phone number in the top right hand corner is another credibility trigger because this shows that people can get hold of them if there's any issue. Further down, we've got a list of partners, and these partners really range. Some are sports teams that they sponsor, some are companies that they advertise with, and some are actually equity owners of the company. But the reason that they use all of these recognized names in the partners section is again to build credibility, to show that even if you haven't heard of Boxed before, you will have heard of some of the companies that we partner with. The rest of this landing page is packed full of credibility as well. We've got videos which personalize the service, we've got more ratings and reviews, we've got a price promise, and their gas safe certification. Okay, now if I was going to get picky, I'd say this call to action, get a new boiler, is a little bit high commitment. If we compare this to one of their competitors, iheat.co.uk, you can see they use a much lower commitment call to action, see boiler prices, which is much more likely to get a click through. But the layout of this page is brilliant. They just need to watch our video on how to choose the perfect call to action and they'll be golden. Now contrast that to this landing page from Cooker, which I'm afraid we've rinsed their digital marketing before, and we've actually spoken to them about it on the back of that rinse. But anyway, this landing page, they're driving paid traffic to, and it really doesn't do a good job of demonstrating credibility quickly. See, Cooker sell boiling water taps. This business is a phenomenon. They are taking off. They've got a whole bunch of the top influencers in the world using their product. They've got influencer relationships. They've worked with celebrities. They've sold a huge number of products. This is a really aspirational product. But where is any of that demonstrated on this landing page? Nowhere. They could just add some really quick stuff. They could add number of units sold in this benefits bar. They could add some pictures of influencers or famous people who have Cooker taps using them on this page. Landing on this page, you would have no idea that this business is the market leader by a long way. Now, to be fair to them, they do have some review stars, but it's 8.9 reviews out of 5, and it's buried right at the bottom of the page where fewer than 2% of people will ever click. So if I were Cooker, I'd be building a dedicated landing page for this paid traffic and I'd be cracking credibility eggs all over that thing. So over to you. Do your landing pages demonstrate credibility in the first few seconds that someone lands on them? Element number 2, their use of an attractive lure. The more attractive the incentive, the more likely they are to act. This next page converts at 21%. Now, you may have heard about our world famous website, A Marketing Review. Basically, this page at exposureninja.com/review, there's a form on here. When you fill it in, we ask you for a bit of information about your business and your marketing goals. We then record you a video, which we send over to you by email, showing you how to generate more leads and sales through your website specifically. Everything's tailored to you over the next 6 to 12 months. It's completely free and it's unbelievable. And this is the page where you request it on exposureninja.com/review. review. Now, being completely honest, this is the entry point for people to become clients of Exposure Ninja. This is the first step in our sales process. So we could have just said, if you're interested in becoming a client of Exposure Ninja, just contact us. But that's not enticing enough to get anybody except the most highly motivated people to act. In order to get people to act, we need to offer something more. That's why we have this incredible free review, and we do thousands of them. So let's look at how we entice people to get this review. Well, firstly, we've got some credibility up here about the awards that we've won. Then we've got the review stars. Again, we're demonstrating credibility. Then we show you some of the results from people that have had this review. So we've got different businesses that have had
different increases. We've got people who've increased their traffic by 245%. We've got someone who increased their lead volume by 820%. Then we've got information about how the review works. We've got a video showing you a preview of the review. We've got who the review is for. We've got testimonials from people who've had the review. We've got the industries that we've worked for, some video testimonials. We've got more information about the results that you can get from your reviews. More testimonials, what's included in the review, more testimonials from Facebook this time, more reviews, information about who Exposure Ninja is, more reviews, and then FAQs.
And then a whole bunch of logos of businesses that we work with and awards that we've won at the bottom. Look how hard we are selling a free review. Most businesses don't sell their service as hard as this, and we are selling a free call to action. We're really making the lure as enticing as we possibly can. Now, to let you into a little secret, most service companies like agencies suck at marketing themselves. They will just have a little form on their contact us page, and they will rely on people navigating their way to the contact page and getting in touch. They'll get a 0.5% conversion rate on their website, and they'll go to networking meetings and complain about the referrals drying up and how bad the economy is. But the more enticing you can make the lure, the incentive for someone to get in contact with you, the more leads that you'll convert. Now, we talk more about how to design the perfect lure in the CTA video, which I'm going to link to you at the end. Element number 3, Ninja objection handling. Now, you're probably familiar with objection handling as a concept in the sales process. Most sales teams will have a script of objection handling, where they have the common objections that prospects might have and how to handle each of these. But very few businesses think about objection handling in their marketing before a lead even comes in. But if you think about it, that doesn't make any sense, because there are objections that your prospects will have before they even contact you. And some of these objections will stop them from even contacting you in the first place. So if you only handle objections of the people who've contacted you, there's all this other group that didn't even get to that stage because they didn't get their objections handled. So for this example, we're going to look at the private jet charter industry. Now, let's imagine for a second, you and I are going on holiday. We don't want to have to slum it with the proles on a big airliner. We want to go private. Now, we might want to charter a jet. Now, if we're going to charter a private jet, one of the main objections that we will have before we can even contact a firm is, do they operate in our area? Do they fly to the places? Do they have jets in the places that we want to fly from? And do they fly to the places that we want to fly to? Unless we can get that question answered, it's unlikely that we would reach out to anyone because they're just simply not relevant for our inquiry. This landing page on privatejetcharter.com does a great job of handling that objection immediately by having a fairly typical sort of where are you going from, where are you flying to box, like you would see on any site like Skyscanner, for example. So we can work out from this, is this business even able to serve us? If yes, then we move to the next stage and we might reach out. Now, contrast this with Warren Buffett's NetJets. Warren might be a great capital allocator, but he sucks at landing pages. And this is horrible for cold traffic, because it doesn't handle the most fundamental objections that people will have. Now, granted, this is a different proposition to the one we just looked at. This is about leasing rather than just renting a jet for 1 or 2 flights. But even so, the most basic objections are not handled on this page. This page assumes that you have prior knowledge about NetJets, which is a disaster for conversion. There's no information about location or destinations. There's no lure. Why should I get in contact with you? What's going to happen? There is a form right at the bottom of the page where the fewest people are going to get to. Come to think of it, they're not even trying to demonstrate credibility. And there's no social proof. Now, the volume of leads that they would be getting from this page will be incredibly low and far below the potential. And because they do such a poor job of allowing visitors to pre-qualify themselves, the quality of some of the leads that they'd be getting through would also be absolute trash. Come on, Warren, you're better than this. Element number 4, clever use of social proof. Now, I might not know anything about your business, I might not know anything about your products or services, but if loads of other people have chosen you before, then that makes me feel that you're a safe bet. As far as I can tell, this is the entire value proposition behind NFTs. Now, let's imagine that you want to sell your car fast. So you might go to Google and you might type in sell my car. And if you're in the UK, you might see this landing page. This is carwow.co.uk/sell your car. There's 2 ways that they demonstrate social proof on this page. The first is by showing the number of dealers that they have in their network. This builds credibility because if 3,000 plus dealers all over the UK have signed up for this, then obviously I'm not the first mug to give it a go. The second way they've demonstrated credibility is from our review stars and by showing the number of people that have used this service. They do have other credibility triggers, for example, the publications they've been seen on, and they objection handle by explaining the process. Contrast that with this disaster of a landing page. This is yourredcar.co.uk. Now, I could rinse this for an hour, but we're going to talk specifically about social proof here. Now, the headline, click buy reward, the whole thing seems to be focused more on this £75 e-gift card than the fact that I want to buy a car. Now, when I want to buy a car, the most important thing to me is actually finding the right car, not getting a gift card. But let's ignore that minor point for just a second. Buying a car is a high-risk purchase, and I've had my fair share of rubbish cars over the years. In fact, I remember going with my brother to pick up a Audi TT that he impulse purchased from this dodgy second-hand place. The thing broke down on the way home from the garage. So buying a car is a scary thing for most people. So you need to over-leverage on social proof to make people feel safe. So this site, how does it make people feel safe? Well, is there any evidence that anybody has ever used this business? There are no reviews. There are no testimonials. There are no customer numbers. They seem to be more preoccupied by a £75 e-gift card reward, I don't even know what that is, than selling cars. Now, unbelievably, this page and this whole service seems to be run by Santander, which is the world's 16th largest bank. So if they wanted to find some social proof, they could find loads. For example, they could share the number of cars that Santander has helped finance. They could share the number of dealers in the network. They could share the number of people who go on to buy a car with Santander Finance each year. There are loads of social proof statistics that they could use to make this page feel more trustworthy. But because they've done none of that, this page is going to be converting at really, really low rates. And my guess would be that this initiative will probably get killed at some point because it's been decided that it doesn't work, which is a real shame because by fixing up this landing page, they could make it much more productive. Element number 5, they make it easy. This is so obvious, I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on it, but I am going to show you an example of a personal injury client of ours where we make it incredibly easy for people to convert. Now, the game with personal injury, particularly in this space, is to get people to convert as quickly as possible. Because the second somebody has an accident, the entire legal industry descends on them trying to sign up their case. So what did we do on this landing page? Demonstrate massive credibility, handle objections with location, and then make it easy for people to contact. You click this button and it rings. Now let's look at a business in a slightly different area, which really doesn't make it easy to convert at all. Siemens Healthineers. Now I'm sorry, Siemens, I'm going to pick on you again, but this site is a really easy target. Now, if you're on this site, you might be shopping for a CT scanner, an X-ray scanner, an MRI scanner for your hospital or your hospital group. So you are a valuable customer. Now let's look at how easy it is for you to convert on this page. Now this is a landing page, but it's not really a landing page. It doesn't do anything to demonstrate credibility. There's no lure whatsoever. There's not really any objection handling, and there's absolutely no use of social proof. But let's assume that all of those were in place. How easy would it be to convert? Well, have a look and see if you can spot a CTA. Bingo! Found it. After 9 page scrolls, I found a contact us button. Now, the people visiting this site might not know very much about CT scanners. They might not know which is the right one for them. So actually talking to someone and having some help make this decision might be really useful. Imagine that there was a call to action that just said, need some help? Talk to one of our specialist team today. Name, email address, optional phone number, message, bingo. Element number 6, they promise a result. So what is the result that you are promising to people who get in contact or request whatever it is that you're offering on your landing page? Now, one sort of industry category that does a great job of this is software. Here we're going to look at an example of a Xero landing page for accounting software. And you can see how they're emphasizing the benefits of Xero and they're making their CTA very easy to request. So Xero makes small business accounting easy. So that's the thing that they're selling. Easy, time saving. So keep those things in mind as we scroll down this page. We're talking about automation. We're talking about running it on the go, getting paid faster, reconciling in seconds, right? This is all time saving or easy. Everything you need, easy. Send invoices, bank reconciliation, payroll, reporting, easy, easy, easy. Plans to suit your business, easy. Peace of mind with free support and security, easy. Over 3 million subscribers use zero, social proof. Your questions answered, i.e. your objections handled. Notice how the call to action has an attractive lure, you can try it for free, and it's very easy to request, and it follows you down the page. Another example is Salesforce. Now here's a slightly old school looking landing page from Salesforce, but I wanted to show you it because just because it's old school doesn't mean that it's not effective. Try out Sales Cloud free for 30 days, great, to convert more leads and close more deals. Now that's the result that they're promising. They're promising you more leads and close more deals. Now they could have just said, try out our product free of charge, but they haven't. They've emphasized what you will get as a result of trying out the products, which makes it more compelling. And free money is just about the most compelling pitch that you can make on a landing page. Now let's contrast this with this site here, which is CultureAmp, which is an employee engagement software. It's actually pretty good. We use it at Exposure Ninja, no affiliation, but this landing page sucks. Now, whilst they're kind of demonstrating the benefit of CultureAmp, understand your employees, let's look at the call to action and the result that they're promising. The call to action is learn more. What do I get from that? How does that move me closer to my goals? Learn more. Let's click on it. Contact us today to get a demo of CultureAmp for your business. What's the result? What's the end point? You're just going to try and sell me this thing, but what am I going to get? So if they'd said, get a demo of CultureAmp and find out how to engage your employees better, or improve your employee retention, or improve staff NPS, these are all results. They're selling the result, but they're not. They're selling a demo here, which has low perceived value. The audience has to kind of attach their own value to it. I would expect this page to convert very poorly. How would we improve this? Well, let's think about the principles we've been through today. We'd add credibility. We'd add the number of businesses using CultureAmp. We'd add some places they've been featured in or reviews. We'd add a lure. What's the incentive? Do we get something else as part of this? Do we get a voucher code? Do we get some free reports? Do we get some analysis of our business's engagement rates? Let's handle objections. How long is this going to take? Is it going to be useful? Am I the right person? Is this just going to be some hardcore salesperson trying to close me? Let's add social proof. How many people have requested this demo? How many people have used CultureAmp before? Let's make it easy as possible. Now, to be fair, this is pretty easy. There's only a few fields on the form, so that's great. And let's promise a result, and let's tell people exactly what they're going to get as a result of requesting this thing. So you've got your formula for your perfect landing page, but of course the landing page is only as good as the offer in your call to action. And in this video, I show you how to develop a perfect, or as close to perfect as possible, call to action that never fails. You can use this model whether you're selling software, whether you're selling a service, whether you're a local business, regional, national, international. Tons of examples and a walkthrough about how you integrate the leads that you get from your call to action into your sales process as well. If you've enjoyed this video, leave us a comment below. What was the favorite landing page that we reviewed today? Until next time, see you soon.